Yes, even a single weekend of junk food can mess with your gut, especially if you already have a sensitive system. While one greasy splurge won't turn your microbiome into a toxic wasteland overnight, the short-term damage from high-fat, ultra-processed meals is real, measurable, and not entirely reversible if repeated too often. Think of it like setting off a firecracker in a crowded theater. It might not burn the building down, but it throws everything into chaos, and it takes a while to calm the system back down. Here's how it happens. After just 1 to 2 days of eating high-fat, low-fiber foods, burgers, fries, pizza, soda, repeat, the lining of your gut begins to respond. Saturated fats trigger immune cells to release inflammatory signals like TNF-alpha and IL-6. This happens fast. Studies show that even a single high-fat meal can cause postprandial, after-meal, endotoxemia, a spike in bacterial toxins like lipopolysaccharide LPS, in the bloodstream due to increased gut permeability. The gut lining becomes slightly leaky, allowing small amounts of microbial waste to seep into circulation, which then prompts a systemic low-grade inflammatory response. It's subtle but significant. Your body starts reacting as if it's under threat. This isn't just a problem for people with existing inflammatory bowel diseases, IBD, food sensitivities, or irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, though it's much worse for them. In these populations, the gut barrier is often already compromised, and immune signaling is hypersensitive. For them, a single weekend of binge eating can trigger days or even weeks of flare-ups, bloating, cramping, fatigue, disrupted bowel habits, and heightened anxiety. But even in otherwise healthy individuals, a junk food binge disrupts the microbial balance. Beneficial bacteria that thrive on fiber and polyphenol take a hit, while inflammation-promoting species, those that love fats and sugars, begin to gain ground. Some studies suggest that this microbial shift begins within 24 to 48 hours of dietary change. Another thing that takes a hit? IL-22, the gut's frontline cytokine for barrier protection and tissue repair. High-fat meals suppress IL-22 production, weakening the gut's ability to seal itself against incoming invaders. At the same time, saturated fats impair the function of ILC3S, the cells that normally produce IL-22, by causing them to store lipids and go metabolically offline. So while you're enjoying that second slice of pie or third helping of cheesy potatoes, your gut is temporarily less capable of defending itself. Short-term junk food consumption also influences bile acids and mucus production. Highly processed, fatty meals change bile acid composition, increasing levels of secondary bile acids that are toxic to epithelial cells and promote inflammation. The mucus layer that normally shields your intestinal lining becomes thinner, giving bad bacteria a chance to get up close and personal with your immune system. Think of it as lowering the drawbridge and disabling the guards, all while throwing a party for invading microbes. Worse yet, the inflammatory signals that begin in the gut don't stay there. Within hours, they can alter blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, mood, and even cognitive function. Some researchers now refer to this as a form of nutritional endotoxemia, a short-lived but damaging immune activation driven entirely by food. Now, to be clear, your gut isn't doomed after one weekend of dietary chaos. The human body is remarkably resilient, and with a quick return to high-fiber, plant-rich, unprocessed foods, the microbiome and immune system can bounce back. However, if cheat weekend becomes weekly tradition, the body doesn't get a chance to repair. Instead, the inflammation accumulates, the microbiota becomes harder to rebalance, and symptoms that were once occasional start to linger. So here's your humorous but highly applicable warning. Just because you can't hear your gut sobbing over your fourth serving of mac and cheese doesn't mean it's fine. It's probably too inflamed to scream. If your digestive tract had a Yelp account, a weekend of junk food would earn a solid 1 star. Do not recommend. Very oily, broke my tight junctions. For people with gut sensitivities, autoimmune conditions, or metabolic issues, the risks are even higher. One weekend binge can undo weeks of healing, leading to fatigue, pain, or worse. For everyone else, occasional indulgence isn't catastrophic, but it's not harmless either. Treat cheat meals like fireworks. Fun in moderation, but don't light them indoors.